Hello everyone and welcome back to another yearly PAX Unplugged vlog! Don't mind the shaky camera. Here's my fit check for the first day, waiting for the train as it's coming on over to us. And check out this crazy ball thing that they have at the gallery walking up to the show this year. Well, it's in the gallery, it's for their Christmas ornaments, and it's just like, it was really cool, it was really shiny. Again, don't mind the shakiness of the camera and everything, but here's my walk up to PAX. This is from the main hall after you get your badges, after you enter in and do all your bag check, and walk into the show. There's just a bunch of people lined up, getting into some of the playtest rooms, things like that. This line of people on the right side of the screen, they're all lined up for merch, which I will say this year PAX did a lot better with merch. Usually stuff sells out the first day, but stuff didn't sell out until like maybe mid the second day, and I was able to get something that I liked, which was a shirt you'll see later on in the video. But yeah, this is the walk up to PAX Unplugged, everyone. PAX 2025 in Philadelphia at the Convention Center. It's an amazing show. I had a wonderful time, and I have a lot to show you, and I can't wait to get into it. So for those of you who do not know what PAX Unplugged is, PAX Unplugged is a board game tabletop convention held by the Penny Arcade people, PAX, P-A-X, Penny Arcade Expo. Same people who do PAX East, PAX West, PAX AU, PAX whatever other PAX they have. They have conventions all around, but they're generally geared for video games. This one in particular is geared for board games and tabletop games. It started back in 2017. It is held in the Philadelphia Convention Center in Philadelphia, PA every year. It is my local convention, a convention I go to every year ever since it started. And it's an amazing blast. You get to walk around and meet developers, see some of the new board games they got, check out some cosplay, not a lot. There's a library where you can play test some board games and things like that, as well as see some panels, which this year was actually my first year checking out some panels, so I'll get around to talking to you about them. But this show gets pretty packed. This was on Friday morning as it first opened, and we're just taking a walk, and it was earlier this year. Generally, it's in like early December, but this year it ended up being mid-November, which it's like kind of back to where it used to be when they first had the show. So it was a little bit different. It was nice and warm. However, we had to compete with Christmas Village was opening up. We had to compete with the Philadelphia Marathon. Luckily there were no Eagles games this year like there was last year. So it was just like, it was kind of a bit of a cluster, but it was a great time. It was a wonderful time, and I had an absolute blast. Since the convention is a local convention from me, I can pretty much take the train in. I don't have to stay at a shop or, a hotel or anything like that. I can take the train in every day, so it's really nice and easy. I get off 8th and Market Station, I walk down the gallery, I go up the stairs at the front of the convention center, and then on day one you have to walk all the way down the main, all the way down the convention center itself, which is what you see me doing here. They had it like, this is like the Red Bull or the Wings like bar area. You could get some drinks and stuff. I didn't actually come down here at all after the show started, and I actually walked past this gentleman who was getting his cosplay ready, which was a Warhammer 40k costume, which was really cool and really detailed. So I walked up to him and talked to him. He was a very nice gentleman. I don't have a card or anything. I don't have his Instagram or anything like that. I was trying to sneak a picture, but he posed for me. And yeah, he was a really nice dude, and it was very, very nice meeting you if you are watching this. It was a blast meeting you. It was a blast at the show, and I was happy to see you. This was the first time they had something like this set up, so I actually set up my tripod and things to like get images, and you're just some random dude walking in front of me, which was and then like all these people just walk in front of me while I'm trying to get a good thumbnail for this, and you had that lady just standing there like, what the hell's going on? She didn't even know, but it was fun. It was a cool thing that they had set up that I was happy to like just take a few seconds to get a quick shot of. Now, day one was pretty packed with me. I had 4 meetings to talk with developers about review copies and about working and collaborating with them. So I was able to walk the show floor a little bit. I was able to check things out, like this Magic booth that they had where it was letting you playtest the Avatar series. This game called Vantage, which is made by the same developers of Wingspan and Wormspan, which I was super sold on. It is like a cooperative adventure game that I really want to get and try out. A lot of these boards and the wood pieces that you're seeing are extra that you have to pay extra for. Most of it is cardboard, but it looks really cool. Then you had these these ornaments up that were D&D inspired Christmas ornaments, which I was like, these things look really sweet. I have to go check them out. And I showed all my friends them, and anytime I saw them, I showed my friends. Then I was able to play test and check out a game called Frosted Blooms. It gives me sort of a Carcassonne feel where you are building your garden and trying to gain points by matching up different colored flowers and your streams and rivers and meadows while building different features of the actual garden, like a windmill or a barn and stuff. Then I was able to find, honestly, the favorite thing that I saw this year. It was called Flock Together. It is a boss battle worker placement sort of game where you play as chickens defending the coop, and all of the enemies have like some silly names, like Leonardo, or is like a turtle, is one of the bosses. Chewbacca. There was a Bach Norris, like Chuck Norris. They were really, really funny, silly names. I was really, really into this game. I really want to get it. And then there's this game, Perseverance 3 and 4, which you get chapters 1 and 2 with it when you buy it. And it's a game where you kind of can tame dinosaurs and go along with like a worker placement, resource gathering, research point collecting type of game, competitive against the other players, where you use your die to move things around. It was really cool, really interesting, but the dinosaur miniatures are really what got me interested in it. Then I spoke with the developer Rabble Games, where they have their new game coming to Kickstarter soon called Sprout, where you are trying to keep your houseplants alive. You play cards to feed them, fertilize them, and things like that. The plants die, you can revitalize them, you can trade with other players, and the goal of the game is to have the more healthier plants than your roommates, basically. And then also on day one, me and Druten, we ran into the Crokinole tables because we had about an hour to kill. So we did the first ever PodQuest Pro-Am Crokinole Invitational. So you'll be seeing that video in a few weeks. This game is also called Punchball. It's from the same people who made the Firewatch game that I played a while back on the channel. And I know that game was good. This game's going to be fun, where you're trying to make the best punch by mixing different fruits and club soda and things like that into the same bowl. It looks really cool. And then our next and final meeting for the first day of PAX on Friday, we went and spoke with the guys over at Malediction again. If you don't recall, Malediction is a tabletop war game where it's similar to like kill teams of Warhammer or other like smaller team battle games, where it's a card-based battle system. You draft your team. Everyone has to have their own team. Each box, if you buy all 4 boxes, is only $200 total, so each box is about $50 if you buy them all. Otherwise, it's about $70. The boxes come with just the cardboard cutouts, but they give you free STL files to download the 3D prints of the actual miniatures. And this is a game I absolutely love. I'm actually working on putting together some sort of play sessions on Tabletop Simulator, because they even told us, like, if you want to play more of this but you can't afford it, check out Tabletop Simulator. They uploaded all of the content onto Tabletop Simulator themselves. So the official rules, the official team put this together, and Malediction, it gets a lot of love. There's a lot of people around the booth. It's a wonderful game, absolutely fun. I love it, and I can't talk good about them enough. These guys are fantastic, and I can't wait to work with them in the future. After meeting with the Malediction crew, the day started to wrap up. The show convention floor was about to close up. However, there were still panels and things like that going on throughout the day. So I got lunch or dinner, and then I went to see my first panel of the day, which was Desi Quest, where Jasmine Ballar, who's the DM of Desi Quest, tried to introduce 3 people, Iffy Wadiway, and honestly 2 others. I don't know who they are. I can't remember. To a D&D style one-shot, but it wasn't a D&D game. It was a game that she created. And it was very fun. She had an hour to play this one-shot and teach them how to play this game. And it was really fun. It was funny because Iffy Wadiway was walking up into the room as she was announcing him, as Anjali Bhamani was announcing him. All of the panels I saw are live on like the PAX's YouTube. I am going to link to them all down below. I highly suggest you check them all out. They were all fun, good, silly times. And I was excited to finally go see some panels and check some things out. But this one was a really fun one. And it's only about an hour long, so it's definitely worth the watch. Now, coming up, guys, I want you to try to name these tunes. Can you name this one? And what about this one? How's this sound? Might take a second to get into it. And finally, at the end of day one, we had the panel, or the actual play, called Oops, Aw, Himbos. This was hilarious and went off the rails entirely so fast that the DM himself had to cut out a bunch of stuff. What they were doing, where they were playing a RPG system based off of, like, Fury Road Vendetta, I think it was called. I'm not entirely sure. It's a game created by Restoration Games, or at least restored by Restoration Games. There's the cast. You had Angeli Bamani and a bunch of himbo-like dudes. I don't really know how the show started. I don't. But it's a bunch of, like, jock-looking dudes. The guy standing up with the hat, he was a former football player who is now doing, like, tabletop and nerd content and things like that. And so this is them introducing everyone out. And again, I really suggest you guys give this a watch and give this a listen, or give this a watch and check it out on YouTube. It was a very funny show that was just very, like, Mad Max oriented and based off of that, like, the guy who's being introduced right now, he just got done, like, wrapping a movie like a week or two ago, and so it's still all a fever dream to him. So he's just like, I have no idea what's going on. But it was funny, and it was such a good time. I highly suggest you guys watch it. And again, all my panels are going to be linked in the description, so you can definitely check them out whenever you want. But that about wraps up day one of PAX. After all the panels and things like that, it was just a very good time. There was a lot to do. There's a lot going on. It was just funny. And, like, look, these gentlemen are... If you're into hunky gentlemen, you'd be into this show. It was just very funny, and the whole show was a blast. It wasn't too crowded. It wasn't too cold. It was kind of a pain getting back home after 10 o'clock, which this show ended at about 10:30. But you know what? You can't complain, because it was a fantastic show. And yeah, so, like, let's just check out day two now, right? Here's a train pick me up on my way home on day one, and me walking back to my car, and then I'm having my coffee for day two. I ran into some friends on the way into the show. Hi, Emily and John. So, like, I'm sorry you didn't really get to enjoy the show, but yeah, I was able to hang out in the press room for a little bit in the morning because my first meeting was postponed. So I was able to get some cool shots of the show opening up. So yeah, the media room is up some stairs away off to the side of the convention center. So yeah, I was able to just check it out, look at everything before the show opened up, which I think is just like a cool shot. And yeah, we gotta include the Punch Nazis Danny DeVito shirt, because fucking punch Nazis, my guys. And then we are going to just check out the show as it opens up and people start filtering in. This is just after 10 o'clock because they block off the entire expo hall until about 10 o'clock, and then they start letting people filter in that lined up. The show this year felt smaller. It felt like there weren't as many people there. It felt not as busy, not as cramped. And I spent most of the day on Saturday on the show floor, and I did not feel claustrophobic or as claustrophobic as I have in the past. So yeah, here's just a bunch of different developers, a bunch of different games. A lot of this stuff I missed. It's a 3-day show, and I missed so much. There's just so much to see. and just so little time to see it all. I eventually started to make my way towards the All Play booth off to the back end, which is who I met with. I met with All Play for the first time ever. I've never met with them before. I was able to get a partnership going with them. I have a game to review. I can't wait to play. It's called Mountain Goats. And they're going to be an awesome people to collab with. This game right here was like a pirate ship game where you're trying to defend your pirate ship from the oncoming forces. So it's cooperative or competitive. And then Flippin' Ninjas is like a 1v1 sort of chess strategy game where your tokens are flipped upside down, and so you have to keep track of who's what and what characters are under things, because you don't know until you flip them for yourself. It was a really fun game. There's a bunch of people in the tournament area playing some Magic cards and things like that, because you could definitely do that. I've never been into any of the tournament stuff, and that is something I do want to give a shot into one year. Definitely not Magic, but see if there's just any game that I feel like I'm good at to do. Unfortunately, this year I did not get into any D&D. I wasn't able to find time to play D&D, so it was just mostly running around checking things out, and I saw a bunch of cool stuff. This is a really cool like space game where you're connecting the numbers on left and right and top to bottom, trying to connect as many space travelers as you can so that they don't run out of air. This game is called Origin Story, where it's a trick-taking game, kind of like Hearts. Is what my friend explained it to me, like where you are a superhero, or it's your origin story being a superhero. There's a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff. They had a woman dressed as Galadriel here. There was this, which looked like Lord of the Rings Stratego, and then there's another Lord of the Rings game that I will get into that I saw on day 3 that I'm very excited about. It's just, think of Pandemic and Lord of the Rings. That just sounds fantastic, right? It looked really cool, and I spoke with a gentleman who was running it. They were all sold out for the weekend. It was a really cool game. At this point, we're actually getting close to wrapping up day 2. I didn't really have a lot planned. I just had plans to go hang out with friends that I was meeting up with. They ended up having to leave a little bit early, so I ended up having some time to kill. So I checked out a panel which was basically Jackbox Party Pack, but in real life. And they did TKO, which is the game where you have people make captions for a t-shirt, and then people draw t-shirts. And, like, I kind of accidentally just followed Iffy Wadiway all weekend. I did not know that Iffy was going to be at pretty much all of the panels I went to. I actually missed out on 3 panels that I was going to go to. 2 of them because they filled up. The first one was Jacques the Whipper. I did not get to see him. And then the second one was a panel Iffy did called, he was playtesting Iffy Wadi's panel or something like that, where he was playtesting like a game show that he was going to do. I don't know if it's like for a panel or for Dropout or for something, but it was really cool to go check this out because I like Jackbox. I'm just not a super huge fan. So the gentleman introducing, he sounds like the voice of Cookie Masterson, who does You Don't Know Jack. I think that's his name, but he's one of the creators of Jackbox. And the 4 people that they're introducing now, so this gentleman with the beard and beyond, they're the artists, whereas the first 3 were the ones who were the captioners. The funny thing is, Iffy Wadiway is not an artist. He is a writer, but they put him to draw, and at one point it took him all 5 minutes to draw one drawing. It was ridiculous, and it's such a good time, and I actually had more fun there than I was expecting. So again, check it out on their YouTube. It was a really fun, silly time. So yeah, after the Jackbox panel, that was pretty much the end of the day for me. I had my meeting that was scheduled for 10 o'clock. We rescheduled for after that at 5:30, where I spoke with Angeli Smith at My Mini Factory, and we talked about their new anti-AI initiative called SteamForge.it. You can go sign up for that. I'll have a video about that on OneQuest in the near future, so definitely check that out, and I'll share it on this channel when it comes out. So here's the skyline of the city as I'm on the train on the way back, and then me walking back to my car, very tired and feet hurt, and then me getting ready for the show the next morning in my new shirt. And of course we gotta say hi to the goodest working boy in the world. And then this is a game I picked up. It's a 1v1 game we'll be playing on board solo. It's called Hercules and his 12 Labors, where you play as Hercules and you're completing his 12 labors to become a demigod. And I'll be playing that as a 1-player board game, which is really cool. This is all play. Again, we are newly partnered with them and checking them out. The game that you just saw at the bottom right of the screen was a bigger version of Mountain Goats, a game that we got the review copy for, so we'll definitely be playing that and checking that out in the near future. They have a bunch of very, like, low difficulty games. They're not kids games, but they're games that, like, for the people who aren't big into board games can check out. Then on my way to meet up with my brother, I found this game called Monster Match, where you are doing like a dating sim, but it's D&D monsters that you're trying to woo and date, and it made me just laugh, and so I kind of need it. And then, of course, this is the Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship. It's that Lord of the Rings cross-pandemic game where your goal is to get Frodo and Sam to Mordor to drop the ring. However, there are outbreaks, quote, outbreaks that happen that will cause increased panic. There's a lot of awesome-looking pieces. There's a bunch of different regions. It looked incredible, and I want it, and I can't wait to play it, and I just had to show it off. I wasn't able to play test it because they had, like, specific time slots for the play testing, so I was just really able to just check it out and look at it. It was really cool. Walking the show floor, checking things out, I found this game called March of the Ants, where you are ants. It's a territory control game. You get to evolve the ants. I then spoke with Phase Shift Games. This is one of the games we got a review copy of, Widgets Workshop, where it's a drop game. The setup is easy. You just drop the pieces on the floor, and then you have to grab them. And then this is Aether Spire, where you have to defend the middle purple Aether Well from being attacked by elementals by building towers. Again, another review copy I got. I'm really excited to play this one. It looks really fun. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a pain to put together the first time, but not in a bad way. Like, it's you got to build the towers for the first time you play it. So when I go to play it, I'm going to have to build those towers first. This is a game called Unmatched Lee vs. Ali. This is a modular battle game where you can play it with other unmatched games. And then, of course, you have to check out all the pretty die and things like that they have around, all the miniatures. It's pretty much the same setup they had last year, which is why I didn't really take much video of it. But it's still cool to check out. Excuse me for that burp. And then there's a Sims board game where like you're trying to complete different like objectives in the Sims world and meet different famous and well-known Sims around the world. And then after that, I went and checked out the last panel that I wanted to see throughout the weekend, which was D&D, but we do the checks in real life. It's another panel that Ifiwadiwe was in. And what it was their DM was running them through just a one-shot campaign, and any of the checks, skill checks they had to make, strength, perception, constitution, things like that, they had to do in real life. So right here, you're seeing them play a quick hide-and-seek with the crowd to try to find the DM to complete a perception check. And you'll see if you find him and just they go booking it, and then they clothesline him, and then I believe I get shots of Iffy grabbing him and lifting him over his shoulder and walking him back. There you go. I have a picture of it too that I'm just gonna pop right up onto the screen right now as we're talking. And then right here also they're doing a constitution check. So he brought a full-on raw onion and they had to bite into it without making a face. They were able to take the skin off, of course, but they had to bite into it without making a face. There was another one which was like a persuasion check. They had to make somebody laugh or something like that. It was really good. The only other panel that I missed besides Jacques and the playtest panel was, I believe it was the Dungeon Bros were doing something with Jacques and Daggerheart, and I just forgot about it. It was on Sunday, and Sunday was just busy for me, so I forgot. And then finally, we wrap up day 3 with me meeting with one of my favorite developers, CGE, Czech Gaming Edition. They pull a lot of games from over the Ukraine and over on that side of the world, try to bring them over to the States, try to get them published and developed. Lost Ruins of Arnak, Codenames, there's a Little Alchemist. There's a bunch of games that like they're known for and are really big that like I absolutely enjoy. And they had this game called SETI, which they got me a review copy of, that I'm super excited to play and can't wait to play more. And then they have some expansions to SETI. They have this new game, Whisperwood, which they want to get me a copy of. They ran out, so I just have to message them. But here's just their whole booth and their whole area. And like they're awesome people and they do awesome good work, and I just can't wait to work with them more. I love the games they make. But that really wraps up my end of PAX. That's the end of day 3. Then my meeting with them was the last meeting. So then it's just me on my way home, leaving PAX, saying goodbye, grabbing the train, and making my way home. I apparently didn't get any shots of me going home, which is kind of a bummer. I normally get shots of me going home, shots of the train, and stuff like that. You know what was? I got pictures. I didn't take video because the bags that I had from CGE and the bags I was carrying around with me for review copies were so heavy that I just couldn't take the time, and there's just so many people on the platform and things like that that I wasn't able to get the shots that I wanted to get. So it was fine. But the show was fantastic. I had an absolute blast. If you were at PAX, please do me a huge favor. Comment down below, what was your favorite thing? What did you see? Are you going to go again? What games did you buy? What games are you excited to play? What did I miss that you saw? Because like I said, I was there for 3 days and I missed so much. So yeah, it's such a great show. So check out PAX Unplugged. They already have next year scheduled. It's again for December and not in November, I believe. I will be there. I love the show. I can't wait to go again. I can't wait to play all the mini games. I will have linked in the description my short of all of the games that I did get that I'll be showing off and checking out on the channel. And yeah, it was an absolute blast. Thank you guys so much. Please comment down below your favorite part about PAX, favorite part about this video, or just favorite anything. Leave a like. Help me grow this channel. Help me grow these interactions. Subscribe. Ring that bell. You know, all that good stuff. Check me out on live on Twitch and YouTube and TikTok Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and the other videos I make on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And I am now doing 2 shorts a day, so check those out as well. Thank you guys so much. Please be careful, be safe, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Always hug your loved ones, and of course, like always, be sure to wear mismatched socks. I'll see you all in the next one.